What we could do is we can call him in right now. I'll get the paperwork together and we'll send him in for a reasonable suspicion test.
Okay, I'll do that. I'll be right back.
You have time?
Yes.
Okay.
The supervisor goes and gets the
Patrick, I need
driver
to
from
see
the
you.
lounge. The driver has no idea why he needs to be seen.
Patrick, how are you?
Pretty good. Yourself?
Good. Hey, we had a couple phone calls today, and apparently we have some issues. Would you like to discuss anything that happened today?
No, not that I know of.
Well, I had a handful of phone calls today about your driving. Did you have any incidents this afternoon?
Not that I know
Okay. Well, what we have is I have my reasonable suspicion paperwork out here in front of me, and what we're going to do is we're going to send you in for a reasonable test.
of. Okay. Well, I don't do
All right.
drugs, so let's go.
Well, let me get this paperwork filled out for you, and then go from there.
Hi, how can I help you guys?
Hi, we're from Southwest Transportation, and we called earlier to have one of our drivers tested.
Yep, you guys are next in line, so go ahead and take this paperwork around the corner and they'll help you there.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
A couple of days later, Patrick gets called back into Kathy's office. He has no idea what is about to transpire.
How are you?
All right. Is there a problem today?
Yes, actually, there is a problem. Remember how we sent you in for those testing?
Yes.
They came back positive.
I don't understand. How could that be? The only thing I can think of is I borrowed some pills from a friend. He told me they were Tylenol, and I took them. I had a toothache.
And your friend, is he a school bus driver?
No, he's not.
Do you know if the Tylenol was prescribed?
I don't know. He just gave me pills, and I took his word for it, so I used them.
Well, Patrick, I don't know how to tell you this, but it's a federal law that you are not allowed to take prescriptions that are prescribed to other people. If you're going to be taking medication, you have to make sure that the medication is acceptable to drive a school bus. And so, as much as I don't want to let you go, the bottom line is you're not going to be an employee here. And I'm going to get some paperwork together, and I'm going to have to let you go.
I don't know why you guys are doing this to me.
There are several things to keep in mind when ordering a reasonable cause test. Besides establishing reasonable cause, the supervisor must order the test promptly. Tests that are not given promptly, longer than 8 hours, probably will not be admissible. Also, a written record of the test must be maintained, including the reasons for the test, and that the test was administered
Hey, Patrick,
promptly.
I need to see you.
Any time that your district has determined that suspicion exists that the driver is under the influence, a test must be ordered. The reason for this test must be based on specific observations including appearance, behavior, speech, body odors, or other relevant observations. The bottom line is that any drugs that a bus driver is using, whether it is borrowed from a friend or even when prescribed by a doctor, must be approved by the school district that you are working for. Districts vary in their policies. One thing is clear, the bus driver must reveal to their supervisor of any prescribed or over-the-counter medicine they are using, and the driver must comply with the rules of the district. Don't take anything for granted. Comply with the regulations of your district and make sure you understand them. Unfortunately, this is just an innocent mistake made by the bus driver, but that innocent mistake cost him his job. Patrick is no longer a school bus driver. In this next section of the video, we will examine the cause and effect of driving while impaired. To better understand the cause and effect of driving when impaired, consider this information. An estimated 13,000 people die in drunk driving-related accidents in the U.S. each year. Approximately 40% of all motor vehicle fatalities are alcohol-related. Over 1.4 million drivers are arrested each year for driving under the influence of alcohol or narcotics. In the United States, drunk driving is the leading criminal cause of death. We aren't trying to imply that school bus drivers are part of this grim statistical accounting. However, we would like to point out that driving under the influence is widespread in our culture, and school bus drivers have a special obligation to never engage in this type of behavior, whether they are on or off the job. Next, let's take a close look at what happens to school bus drivers when they try to drive a school bus when they are under the influence. Previously, we mentioned that alcohol and drugs negatively affect your ability to safely drive a school bus. A good starting point is with judgment. Loss of judgment, or good sense, affects how you react to sounds, what you see, and the speed of other vehicles around you. Drugs or alcohol can cause the driver to be drowsy, and in some cases, this may cause the driver to fall asleep at the wheel. Reaction time for any situation is drastically reduced. Vision is skewed, and when driving at night, oncoming traffic lights are hard to see. Use of mirrors becomes a major problem. The driver's ability to accurately judge distance is compromised. It's safe to say that any time a driver is driving under the influence, the risk of an accident and injury to his students is dramatically increased. This last issue is one that seldom occurs, however, it's worth considering. A school bus driver was loading students onto her bus after school. A small group of students riding the bus were very rowdy and totally out of control. Then an argument breaks out between two students on the bus. The driver sees the argument escalating when she finally decides to do something about it.
Girls, what's going on?
She doesn't want to move her stuff, so I can sit down.
She moved my stuff. Both of you girls need to knock it off or I'm gonna write you up.
Write us up, write you up.
For what?
We know what's inside that mug.
Coffee?
No, it ain't coffee. We can smell it from all the way over here.
I have coffee in there.
Sure.
You need to pick up that bag and go find a seat.
Being blackmailed by students should be unthinkable. However, it can happen. It's a cautionary tale for school bus drivers. Don't ever put yourself in a situation where this can happen. Now the bus driver has no authority on her bus. The students know this and will take advantage. Any respect that the students had for the driver has completely diminished, and it will only be a matter of time until this driver is caught and she will no longer drive a school bus. A bus driver must realize that if they are drinking on the job, students riding the bus can easily pick up on this information, and students have multiple ways to inform authorities of this kind of behavior. Hotlines are available. Parents can be informed that the driver is drinking on the job, and students can inform members of the school team. For drivers that have an addiction problem, there is only one course of action. Go to your supervisor and explain that you need help. Trust that your school district will be willing to work with you. Don't risk drinking on the job. It will jeopardize the safety of your students, and inevitably it will result in dire consequences for the bus driver. Remember, the school bus driver has the trust of parents, students, and staff. Don't abuse that trust. Come clean if you have a problem. Don't let it ruin your life or the lives of the students you are transporting. Keep in mind, you are a school bus driver. What you do in your spare time can affect not only your career as a bus driver, but ultimately affect the students you transport in one way or another. Also, make sure you understand all the policies set forth by your organization. Ignorance is not an excuse. It is your responsibility to get approval for pain medications that you may be taking. Know your job requirements and follow them strictly. Thanks for watching, and remember, stay safe.